also turn on your notification button so you get notified each time I'm live. All right. So thank you for joining, and thank you for waiting in as much as I'm not starting it at the right time. This lecture was meant to be a 9:30 p.m. live stream, but due to one or two things that kept me busy, I had to start it up this late. So I'm sorry, I apologize. Sorry, I'm trying to get my phone to be charging at once. So today in this live stream, I'm actually going to be talking a lot of things, or will I say signs, things that when you see in your children, or will I say signs that when you see in your children, or when you observe it as a parent in your children's life, then you understand, or let's say you know that they really need an emotional support. All right. You know that they need an emotional support. Sorry, I'm trying to get my phone charging at once. I don't know what's going on. What's happening? Why is it not showing my face? This one. Okay, like I said earlier, these things I'm going to be telling you are actually some of the signs that when you observe children's life, then you understand that they really in one way or the other need emotional support. Because some children, most of the times, they don't just say how they feel. It's not because that's because that is how children is, okay? Because some children, they can express their feelings through tantrums. Some of them, they can actually express their feelings through, like, maybe silently. When you pay closer attention as a parent, you get to understand all those things. All right. So please, these things I'm going to say, if you happen to observe it in your child, know that in one way or the other, they really need your support as a parent. They are definitely not going to say it, all right? But their mood will tell you, okay? Their change in character, maybe if you happen to have a hyperactive child and suddenly the child is now withdrawn, somehow the child is becoming moody, somehow the child is becoming like as if he or she does not want to engage in any activity, that the child, you know, love to get. Those are the signs that can actually tell you that truly my son or my child, my daughter needs me at this point. All right. So now I'm going to be mentioning these signs, which number one is, let's say, sudden behavior change. Like I said earlier, if you notice, maybe your hyperactive child suddenly becomes this quiet type, or probably that the child no longer wants to, mingle with his or her, friends any longer, know that something is actually wrong on in your child's life. Okay. And also, it could be a child that is usually playful with his or her siblings, but all of a sudden the child is always indoor. The child does not want to involve, or let's say engage in the activities, the playful activities with his or her siblings. Know that your child needs you at this point. Let me give you another instance. Let it be, it could be that your child probably, let's say, love to, let me say, your child loves to sing all of a sudden, or maybe your child is this type that early morning your child is awake, your child is always vibrant, engaged in conversation and all of that. But suddenly your child is no longer like that. The child is now becoming moody. He or she doesn't want to come out of the room. He or she would now prefers to be indoor. Please, if you notice this thing in your child's life, know that your child needs you at that point. All right. Like I said earlier, children most of the times, even teenagers, sometimes they will not talk to you, but their mood swing. That's why it's important. See, you cannot be involved in something you don't know. Okay, so if you happen to be a carefree parent, you will not get to understand these things. But if you are that parent that choose to always pay attention, choose to be attentive when it comes to things regarding your children's life, you perfectly observe these things. All right. So please, when you get to notice these signs, know that your child needs you at that point. All right. So I want to use this opportunity and welcome my first time viewers. If this is your first time of joining my live stream, thank you so much, and please do want to subscribe, and please just stay tuned. All right, in one word or the other, you are actually going to learn one or two from this live stream. Okay, don't forget that no knowledge is a waste, and at some point in your life, or probably in someone else's life, these teachings will actually help you to guide you, or probably help you to guide that someone tomorrow. All right. So today we're actually talking about signs that you observe in your children's life, and you get to know that truly they need your emotional support. All right. So please do not like this video and subscribe. All right. I appreciate a whole lot. All right. Thank you for joining. So the number 2 sign is frequent anger and irritability. Yes. You as a parent, you've observed, and will I say you know already that at home, you your children are always this type of children that love one another, or probably because the kind of love you show to your children and the things, the morals and the things that you've taught them so far, there is always love and peace and harmony at home. But suddenly, this child of yours is now developing anger, is now becoming suddenly everything irritates him or her. You know that something is actually wrong, because that is not the child that you raise. So that at that point in time, or let's say at that moment, you need to find out, create out time to have one-on-one conversation with your child. All right, something is actually wrong internally. Something is wrong with your child. Your child might need your attention or your support, or need you to guide him or her, or need you to save him or her from a particular situation. Okay, but he or she might not know how to go about it. So now everything it becomes irritating to the child. The child is developing some kind of anger issues, as like even showing it to his or her siblings. All right, this indicates that something is actually wrong. So you need to step in as a parent and know, or let's say, and find out what is going on in your child's life. All right. So that's actually number 2. But number 3 is when your child starts withdrawing, or when you notice that your child is now being isolated, a child now starts isolating him or herself. Sometimes it could be that your child is facing, let's say, your child is being bullied, or it could be that your child is facing, let's say, is your child no longer have the self, is not does no longer have the self-esteem again. Uh, these things can actually cause your child to start withdrawing or start isolating him or herself. or herself. All right. Sometimes the child can express it through outbursts. You see your child yelling, exhibiting a lot of attitudes, or let's say characters that you as a parent did not even teach him or her. So when you notice these things in your child's life or in their character, please know that this is the time you need to step in as a parent